Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and today I'll be talking about the India versus New Zealand T20 International Series, which has started. The first T20 International was played yesterday. India beat New Zealand by 5 wickets in a game that should have never gotten that close. India really should have finished off way earlier than they actually did, and I'll be talking about that game in detail, in addition to my thoughts on the 12-man squad that Pakistan has announced for their first T20 International versus Bangladesh on this volume of CRIQAZI Diaries.
Have a look at that, miles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out the stands. That was a flat six right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket.
Let's talk about the Pakistan squad first and just get this out of the way. I'm extremely disappointed not to see Iftikhar Ahmed, Shahnawaz Dhani and Usman Qadir in the squad. And on top of that, they've only gone with 2 spinners in Shadab and Nawaz. And I don't understand that because the pitches in Bangladesh are extremely conducive to spin bowling and they really should have gone with 3 spinners. And I also don't understand why Pakistan had to go with their first string squad in a series which is just after the T20 World Cup. You've got a year till the next T20 World Cup. This was a prime opportunity to test your bench strength, especially when Bangladesh won't even have Shakib Al Hasan, Tamim Iqbal and Mushfiqur Rahim. So they're already depleted and I really think Pakistan have missed a trick here. Now they're probably going to go with 3 pacers and 2 spinners on tracks which suit spin bowling, and you don't even have Mohammad Hafiz anymore. He's not available for this series. So really, I do not understand this strategy by Pakistan. On to the India game, and even though Virat Kohli and Kane Williamson were not playing this game, it was still an important game for India as it was the very first game of the regime of Rahul Dravid as coach and Rohit Sharma as captain of the T20 international side. New Zealand were being captained by Tim Southee. India won the toss and they elected to field. Before I actually start talking about the game, I'd just like to mention that I'm completely befuddled that a team which played the World Cup final 3 days earlier is now playing a bilateral series and there's no rest whatsoever in between. And in a time where COVID bubble fatigue is such a real thing, has the commercial value of the sport really exceeded the well-being of the players? Seems like it, and I'm not a fan, but I'm also not going to complain because there's more cricket for me to consume. Anyway, you guys let me know in the comment section below whether you think this was a good move or not to schedule bilateral series right after the T20 World Cup with no break in between. So India started their bowling innings extremely positively. Bhuvneshwar Kumar removed Daryl Mitchell for a duck in the very first over with a peach of an in-swinger, and he really sent his middle peg for a cartwheel, and that was amazing to watch. Thereon, however, New Zealand really batted well. There was a 109-run partnership between Martin Guptill and Mark Chapman, and Mark Chapman actually took Deepak Chahar apart. He absolutely smashed him. But still, by the 10-over mark, New Zealand were only 65 runs for the loss of 1 wicket, so India definitely won those first 10 overs. After the 10-over mark, Guptill switched gears and he absolutely ripped into Mohammad Siraj. Ravichandran Ashwin swung the pendulum India's way as he cleaned up Mark Chapman for a well-made 63 off 50, and then he went on to remove the dangerous Glenn Phillips for a duck in the very same over. Ashwin ended up with extremely impressive figures of 2 for 23 in his 4 overs, and he looks like a cricketer reborn. He got a lot of purchase off the surface and he used all of his tricks in his vast armory. And I'm happy to see Ashwin get regular opportunities for India now because he's world class, and the fact that he hasn't been starting for India across formats is something that I don't quite understand, but here's to hoping that Ashwin gets a consistent run in the team across formats here on. Because not only is he extremely skillful with the ball, he's also really experienced and can bat as well. The double breakthrough though didn't deter New Zealand too much as Guptill kept New Zealand's momentum up. He ended up scoring an explosive 70 of 42 deliveries, and when he got out, New Zealand were 150 for the loss of 4 wickets in 17.2 overs with 175 in sight. Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled a wonderful penultimate over. He only gave away 5 runs, also took the wicket of Tim Seifert, and finished with figures of 2 for 24 in his 4 overs as well. India came back hard in the death overs as New Zealand were only able to score 14 runs off their last 16 deliveries after Guptill's dismissal, which took their score to a paltry 164 in 20 overs. Carrying their form from the T20 World Cup, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul were absolutely ballistic up top. They pulled the ball to perfection, bringing up India's 50 in less than 5 overs. Mitchell Santner then removed KL Rahul in the 6th over and outwalked Surya Kumar Yadav. Indian fans must be really happy as finally Surya Kumar Yadav was able to replicate the sort of form that he's shown in the IPL at the international level. And the Jaipur fans were treated to an absolute exhibition of clean hitting by Sky. The game took another twist then. Trent Bolt fought back for New Zealand. He first removed captain Rohit Sharma for a well-made 48 of 36, and then later also removed man of the match Surya Kumar Yadav for 62 of 40 deliveries. And you'd think that by this point the damage had already been done. India actually made the game really interesting as Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant and debutant Venkatesh Iyer struggled big time. India required 21 of the last 3 overs, 16 of the last 2, and then finally 10 of the last over. Now, since Todd Astle had gone for 34 runs in his 3 overs, Tim Southee was forced to give the final over to Daryl Mitchell, and India chased down the target with 2 deliveries to spare. Now, India made this chase way harder for themselves. It really never should have gotten this close. They should have wrapped up this game with at least an over to spare. And ultimately, you'd have to say that India's death bowling won them the game, as New Zealand were at least 10 to 15 runs short, as they scored only like 22 runs in their last 3 overs. As for New Zealand's bowling, Trent Bolt once again was the star of the show. He did go for a few runs, went for 31 runs, but did take 2 crucial wickets in his 4 overs. Lockie Ferguson was back in the team after an injury, and he did miss out on the T20 World Cup. He didn't pick up a wicket in this game, but was quite economical, only went for 24 runs in his 4 overs. And Mitchell Santner was absolutely fantastic. He was the pick of New Zealand's bowlers, conceding only 19 runs in his 4 overs and also picking up the very crucial wicket of KL Rahul. Now, Santner, Ferguson and Bolt combined to give away only 74 runs in 12 overs. So the culprits in New Zealand's bowling attack were really Todd Astle, 3 overs, 34 runs for no wicket. Daryl Mitchell, I won't blame too much. He just came to bowl the final over and gave away 11 runs in 4 deliveries. But Tim Southee had a really bad day. He was the captain of the side. He's an experienced campaigner, and 4 overs, 40 runs for only 1 wicket do not make for good reading. On these conditions, you'd back India to win this series, but New Zealand got close in this game as well. So you never know. It is cricket. Anything can happen. And you let me know in the comment section below who you think will win this series. That's a wrap for volume 83, folks. As always, if you enjoyed this volume, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be notified about all of my latest videos. I'll catch you tomorrow after the first T20 International between Pakistan and Bangladesh. That's all for now. Kazi off the mic.
Have a look at that. Miles up. Oh, it's nearly taken someone out of the stands. That was a flat 6 right